Hi, my name is John. Welcome to my channel. This is Good Burger Reviews. We are in the middle of a Final Destination series. Today's segment, we are going to talk about the top 10 most brutal deaths in Final Destination. Now, this ranking does not include Final Destination 6 Bloodlines because I have yet to see it later on today. Coming in at number 10 is, I call it, the tow truck dragging. Okay, this one is the one racist character, Daniels. It's from Final Destination Part 4. He drives over to the other guy's house to burn a cross on his lawn, but then somehow he gets caught up in this tow truck that drags him. And I just thought this one was almost going to be on my funny list because but it is brutal because he's literally getting dragged down the street by his legs while on fire. And George is the other character watching him, and the way he's standing on the porch watching him as he's just being dragged and burnt. Coming in at 9 for most brutal deaths, Final Destination, elevated hooks. So in Final Destination 2, they had just had this meeting, convening, talking about death's design. They start getting paranoid about death coming for them, and many of the characters are being cynical and not believing it. And Nora's son's already died, and she's like, I'm out. She's gonna leave, and she gets in an elevator, and Rory has a premonition of hooks and sees hooks in the closet when a bunch of stuff falls on him. And the next thing you know, there's this creepy man with hooks in the elevator with her, and her hair gets caught on the hooks, and it just ensues into chaos, and the elevator goes up, and long story short, her head gets decapitated.
Hooks. Man with hooks. Hey, I think I see a man with hooks. Is that a sign?
Oh my god.
Did you guys see that?
He's right.
Is it me, or does this old man remind you of Cain from Poltergeist 2? God is in this holy temple.
Nora!
Who is this?
Nora, can you hear me?
Officer Burke, I can't hear you. What?
What is it? What?
A man with hooks is gonna kill you.
What? What is it, Nora? Wait.
Coming in at number 8, I call this one a Big Mac in the drive-thru. This one is from Final Destination 3, where our two main characters are sitting in the drive-thru, and one of the other victims, or one of the other people who are in death's past, and I can't remember all their names, but they're all in the drive-thru lineup, and the next thing you know, there's this truck that's in the back up a hill. Somehow some guy didn't leave the parking brake on, and the truck starts to roll down the hill, and lo and behold, it's heading straight for the drive-thru. And this was one of my favorite deaths from Final Destination 3. I just thought the tension in this one, the way it was drawn out, and as it's coming, you think our main stars are going to get it, or one of them, and in the nick of time, the two main characters get out, but the guy in the front, he gets it right through the head with medical. He gets it through his brain with some pole in the accident of the truck, just crashes through the drive-through line and smashes him. Coming in at number 7 for most brutal deaths, Final Destination, I call this one, I should have got that Chinese to go. So this is in Final Destination 2, the one rich kid that kind of gets separated from the rest of them. He's the first for death to come after them after the car accident, after the car pile up. And he's in his apartment, and this was a very Val Luden style death. It was long and drawn out with little things happening here, little fires, little death just slowly coming at him in a way where you keep thinking, oh, it's going to be this, it's going to be this brutal thing. I almost thought it was going to be like the one kid from Halloween 5 that almost got his hand down the drain, and I thought it was going to be a garbage disposal death. You know, there were so many almost deaths in this one, which is why I liked it. But in the end, he slips on his Chinese food after escaping out of a house fire. He's escaping death so much, he escapes out of a house fire, and then he's climbing down the fire escape, and boom, he slips on his Chinese food, and the ladder smashes him in the eye. I mean, that was a brutal one. Brutal. All right, coming in at number 6, I call this one, Let's Play Laser Tag, and You're It. So the one snappy girl in Final Destination 5, she was already, like, I didn't like her, so I was waiting for her to be in the lineup, and she ends up going to the eye doctor, and she's getting this eye, she has an eye appointment, and this was kind of reminiscent of the dentist office one from Final Destination 2 with the whole being in a chair and something's about to happen and you're at basically a doctor's office. But you know, this one was intense because, like, her eye. I mean, another eye one. Again, another throwback to Final Destination 2 with the eye. But this one was just really rough to sit through. And, like, this was another one where I kind of felt my hands going up above my eyes because I was just waiting for something dreadful. Like, what was it going to be with her eye? And, you know, she just goes through hell in this doctor's office and then almost gets out of it and gets away from it to literally fly out the window and fall onto a car in the parking lot. Coming in at number 5, this death I call Fingerprints, Foreshadowing, and Fires. This is from the original Final Destination, Val Luden's death. She's at home. And Death is stalking her in her kitchen. She's cooking and she's doing just at home normal stuff. But our main character, Alex, is lurking around because he's already had a foreshadowing. He's already believing something's going to happen to her. But she, out of all these characters, is the most creeped out by him. She's most creeped out by the fact that he had a premonition, got them off the plane, and survived. I felt like she did really well, like just her acting in that one and the way she dealt with Alex for the rest of the movie until this scene. Obviously, Death gets her, but, you know, I just like this one because it was pretty much one of the most drawn out deaths, because a lot of these Final Destination deaths are fast and pop up on you, but this one was one of those drawn out tension ones and done really well. The tension's really well in this one, and then Alex being there, and then it does have a comical aspect when Alex leaves and then Billy, played by Sean William Scott, shows up, and I just loved him as well. He's the way he was, like his comic, his Stiflerness in it. Coming in at number 4 for Final Destination deaths, this one I call a pain in the glass. So this one's from Final Destination 2. It's the young kid, you know, the one that was tapping the water bottles in the beginning, and he is at the dentist's office with his mom. And this is another one that is very drawn out, very long. And that whole analogy I did with the whole Finding Nemo thing, which I never realized then, but the fish tank and then the fish, and then a little fish drops into his mouth. And then, you know, the whole oxygen thing, and you keep wondering how's Death going to get him. You know, this one, the tension's drawn out good. And you know, the birds get into the office. So it was tense, but also a little comical. And then the dentist, you know, the way he was reacting, everything nonchalant at first, and then panicked when it starts to unravel. Um, the whole thing with this one, though, the whole dentist office scene, and then like you think he's gonna die there, and he gets out. It's like, oh, we're in the clear. But then, you know, he's downstairs now, leaving, and AJ Cook and the cop, the police officer, are running, and they basically draw him. They're yelling, "Oh, the pigeons!" because she had had a foreshadowing of the pigeons, and he starts to run towards these pigeons. He spooks the pigeons, but lo and behold, there's all again with construction work. All this construction work's going on. This giant um, crane is carrying this giant piece of glass, and it has to be like that ultimate bulletproof glass because the way this what do they call it, tethered glass or whatever, the way this glass just comes and just piles down on him and just accordions him. I was like, wow, holy smokes. And then it was the young character, the young kid that died that way. Totally brutal. I mean, what a horrible way to die. I don't know if a pane of glass landing on someone would kill them like that, but that was intense.
Damn it, anyway.
There we go.
Jane, how's Tim doing in there?
What did he say about your tooth? Did he say
I
it was like a...
can't remember.
What? Pigeons.
Coming in at number 3, I call this death Psycho in the Shower. Is from Final Destination Part 1. The first one, it's Todd's death. The first time death strikes. And this was another one. Great tension, great lore. The whole way Final Destination's franchise starts here with its deaths. And Todd's death is brutal. It's he basically is in the bathroom. He's doing his nighttime routine, and the water starts creeping around, and he's you know doing his grooming. He's got like nail clippers out or little clippers out, and then he's gonna get in the shower, and then away everything kind of comes together, and he's in the shower. And of course, I was just saying about shower scenes. You know, throwback to Norman Bates and Psycho, and you know this definitely had a shower moment. And it basically he gets strangled by this like laundry cord or whatever, this really thin wire, and then because all this other stuff that he spilled, like hair gel or some sort of lotion or whatever, his feet are all can't save himself, and then he almost reaches the little clipper, can't do that. You know, death gets him, and it's brutal. It's a brutal way to die. You know, this was one of the most intense deaths to watch. You know, and this is like, you know, the fall in the bathroom type of thing. I have people, you know, back then it was the most common way to die. People would say, oh, accidents in the bathroom. Coming in at number 2 for most brutal deaths in the Final Destination series, I call this one A Gymnast Does a Split. All right, with this one is so brutal to watch. I constantly, and when I first saw it, it just disturbed me, grossed me out. I hate those body cracking videos. I hate anything like that. It just drives me nuts. I hate watching people get smashed or squished or like limbs bending in the wrong way. And this scene is just set up for disaster. This one was definitely brutal. As soon as I seen that she was doing gymnastics and she's on a balance beam and there's all this swinging and flying going on, and then just the way everything's set up and the way death creeps in on this one, and she gets on that balance beam and the first thing you see is that her well, I guess she had socks on maybe, but like there's this little nail on the balance beam, totally adding to the tension of this one. The tension in this one is probably one of the best tensions of all of them because of just, you know it's gonna happen, you know it's gonna be something viciously brutal, and I'm thinking it is gonna be like a body crack. And I'm like, oh, I thought maybe the fan was gonna fall on her as well, like this giant air conditioner vent that's up at the top of the room. But she avoids the little the thing, and then she's on the she avoids the tack, and then she gets on the swinger thing. I don't even know what these things are called, but she's swinging around on that, and the other girl's on the balance beam, and then she falls because of the tack and causes all this dust to go in the air, and she flies up into the air and just cracks in half when she lands. I mean, brutal, gross. I can't even imagine how utterly painful or brutal that would really be. And I mean, this death is just vicious. I have trouble watching that scene at all. Number one for Final Destination deaths. This one I call tanning to a crisp. Thrown back to Final Destination 3, the two ditzy girls that are in this one, throwaway fodder characters, they decide to go to the go to the gym, and then they're going to go to the tanning salon. And they get in these tanning beds, and OMG. Something happens, there's a little cream at the door, the guy takes a break, everything goes wrong at one time. These girls get locked into the tanning beds and they accidentally get turned on super high, and they literally roast like a turkey in an oven. I was thinking of in the rewatch, I was thinking of the girl on Thanksgiving that got roasted in the oven and how brutal a death that was. Well, if you think about it, of all these deaths that these people endured, this one has to be one of the worst as far as I'm concerned, because it's so long. To think about what it would be like to be fried to death in a tanning thing and then cooked like that, that's just, to me, it's the most brutal. Is it the best death in the series? Meh, it's up there. I don't know if it's my personal favorite, but as far as brutality, this one is the worst. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the most brutal deaths in Final Destination. I'd love to know your opinion, what your thoughts are, what you guys think are the most brutal or best deaths in the Final Destination series. Go ahead and put that in the comments. And if you guys are liking my commentary, my channel, the horror content, Final Destination review, the Final Destination series, please give it a like. Subscribe, tap the notification bell, all that jazz. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, when we go over the most funny deaths in Final Destination, and